Success requires hard work, and I think we can all agree on that. The popular book The 4-Hour Workweek has an unrealistic philosophy. The book claims that with the right strategy, you can achieve a 4-hour workweek, essentially managing a whole business by working only 4 hours every week. And as crazy as this sounds, people who only work 4 hours a week do in fact exist. But guess what? They've sacrificed a lot to get where they are today. Just think about all those overnight successes. Most of them aren't actually overnight. It's not like everything happens in a couple of days. You might reach your goals quickly, but the work necessary to get there might take years. And that's the case for most entrepreneurs. They work 80 hours a week or even more in order to get where they want. And when they do, they can enjoy the rest of their lives with a significant fortune to boot. 80 hours a week is a common starting point, and some claim that they work even more, which is possible. But let's be real for a minute. 80 hours a week is 11.4 hours a day. Basically, you're working almost 12 hours every day. And that's no joke. It takes a lot of energy and determination to do this. There are business people who work even more, 100 to 120 hours a week, which is 17 hours a day. Considering that you need to sleep at least 6 hours a day, that leaves you with 1 hour of free time, in which you're probably going to eat or take care of your body. So the most realistic limit for most people is 80 to a maximum of about 90 hours a week, which again is still a lot. Let's say that you are willing to pay the price. You want to work that much, and you want to push yourself because you think that success is worth it. And trust me, it is. How do you actually do that? How do you work a lot without damaging your health or your performance? There are countless cases of people who have worked so much that they imploded.
No, I don't want to implode, sir.
And by that, I mean burning out. A ton of responsibilities and a lot of things to do will leave you feeling burned out. To avoid this, there are strategies that entrepreneurs from all over the world use to keep the rhythm below the belt. Just kidding. Trust me, you'll love these tips. Ready to get started? Great, but before we do, I need you to do me a simple favor. Why don't you take a second to subscribe to our channel now? We don't actually sell anything. We're all about giving you guys free value on entrepreneurship, business, personal finance, and more. Most people sell this kind of information in courses, but we give it to you for free. So the best way to support our channel right now is to simply subscribe and hit that like button. Done? Awesome. Now let's get into it. Tip number 1. Take stuff from your brain to a device or paper. Here's what I mean by stuff. As an entrepreneur or a hard worker in general, there are countless things you need to get done. It's perfectly natural to feel stressed when you have a problem, and it's not because you don't know how to solve those problems, but simply because you have too many of them. I'm sure you've had one of those days where you needed to go shopping, then finish a project, then study something, then clean the house, then meet a coworker, then meet another deadline, all while trying to keep a healthy relationship with your girlfriend and your family. This stuff is stressful, and the worst thing you can do is keep it all in your head. You need to get out of there as soon as possible. And how do you do that? Well, it's actually easier than you might think. Just take a piece of paper and a pen and start writing down your tasks one by one. Assign deadlines and priorities to each one of them, and you'll see how relieved you'll feel. And as you approach the end of this list, it's almost like all the stress evaporates as you check off each item on the list. When you write down your tasks, you'll have a much clearer sense of priority concerning the tasks to get done, time to get it done, and once you do this, you can then figure out a way on how to get work done. Writing down what you have to do will save you the pain and headache of having a bunch of things you have to get done floating around in your head, which can sometimes lead to forgetting to do certain tasks or completely missing deadlines. So, make sure you write them down. Now, as I said, you can also use devices. By this, I mean your phone or your computer. There are apps designed for this, like Microsoft's to-do list. But there are more advanced options I think you should check out. You can do your own research, but I actually have a favorite. This is not a sponsored product. I genuinely think you should try it out. It's called ClickUp, and it does a great job at helping you write down those tasks, organizing them in lists and folders, assigning deadlines and priorities, and more. Using ClickUp, or even just a good old-fashioned pen and paper, will become so useful that you won't go back to your "I can remember this" mentality. Every time a task comes up, you'll almost instinctively write it down, so you're sure you won't forget about it. When you have responsibilities and a lot of work to do, this will change your life. Tip number 2, take very short breaks. While working, it's important that you keep that connection between body and mind. It's not that easy to be aware of your surroundings when you sit at a desk for 10 hours straight. You should always remember to get up and go for a quick walk, even just inside the office. Maybe even get down and do 20 push-ups. It'll increase blood flow and put you back in that alert mode, instead of keeping you trapped between thoughts and paranoias. I've heard of this strategy where you work for 25 minutes and then take a short 5 minutes break. I don't know about this one because it's 1/6 of your working time, so when put together, you'd have 2 hours of breaks in a 12-hour workday. It's excessive if you really want to work hard. I'd say that you should just move around for a little. Jumping jacks are fine as well. You could also try desk exercises, which you can do without even standing up, but I don't know about their effectiveness. Just take a quick break whenever you feel like you're blocked inside your head or you can't stand still. A great solution to this, which helps you maximize your working time and minimize your necessity to take breaks in the first place, is the next tip. Tip number 3, use standing desks, or the crazy option. I'll tell you about the crazy option in a second. Standing desks are a great way to minimize your need for breaks. You'll use your muscles way more than sitting, plus it's less harmful to your back, since sitting for 10 hours isn't the healthiest of choices. Since you'll be moving much more and more muscles will be engaged, you'll be far less likely to feel tired or need breaks. The crazy alternative is to have a treadmill right under your desk. Yes, you heard me, work while walking. This is something that successful people actually do, and you might have heard about it if you follow Dan Pena.
The more successful that stand at their desk, walk on a treadmill. For some of you that gotta lose a few pounds, and the perfect speed seems to be 4 kilometers an hour.
4 kilometers an hour seems to be the maximum speed at which you can still work while walking. Things like typing on your keyboard, you can't do while running 25 kilometers an hour, you know? Anyways, these are extreme options that probably won't work for most people, but I suggest you at least try standing at your desk for a week. You might find it very useful. If you have a home office, or if you're allowed to do this at your office, you don't have to buy a standing desk right away, which costs several hundreds of dollars, especially if the height is adjustable. You can also just purchase a desk converter. You can find a lot on Amazon. Or you can even just put some boxes on top of each other and see how you feel. I personally did this for about 6 months almost every day, and I found it extremely useful when you do those repetitive tasks that don't really keep your focus. Standing while doing them will improve your ability to stay focused longer. Tip number 4, exercise. No excuses, okay? This is very important. You need to stay healthy and energized. A proper exercise schedule will do the trick. Ideally, you need to work out at least 3 times a week, but you can also work out every day, which is what I personally prefer. That's because if I do it every morning, it makes my day very predictable, at least in the first 3 hours, which helps me get out of bed in the first place. You can go to a gym, but if they're currently closed due to the coronavirus pandemic, or if you don't want a gym subscription right now, you can always work out from home or start running. Just find something that you enjoy, or that at least puts your body to a small daily challenge. You'll also see improvements with your physical appearance, so why not start ASAP? Tip number 5, plan your days. You should do this for the same reason as number 1, to take stuff off from your head. If you have 5 meetings in a day, you also need to prepare for each one and work between them. You'll probably forget something along the way. Maybe it's a small thing, but with time, those small things multiply, and at some point they'll stress you out. Simply use Google Calendar, any other calendar tool, or even just an agenda to plan your days hour by hour. We actually made a video on time management. You can check it out in the upper right corner or in the link in the description down below. Anyways, you can either plan your days hour by hour, or you can use time boxing, which is assigning a time limit for every task, instead of assigning specific times during the day for each task. Different life situations have different requirements, so experiment and see what feels right for you. And that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video and found value in it. and I also hope that you actually take action with these tips. If you'd like to go further with this topic, I highly recommend you check out Lifebook Online with John and Missy Butcher on Mind Valley. And as usual, the link will be down in the description below. Let us know what you thought about this video by commenting below. And make sure you subscribe to our channel right now to stay updated on all of our future uploads. Also, leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you all in the next one.